it looks like the thin blue loin has finally found its meatballs, as the Massachusetts State Police Union has ended their support for disgraced former state trooper Michael Proctor in his appeals process to get his badge and firearm back before he withdrew. Plus, Boston Police Commissioner Michael Proctor and his false memories are coming back to haunt him? This and more in today's video. Hello, and welcome back, roommates, to another titillating edition of Alexasrewm, where we are not lawyers, we are not medical professionals, and we are not law enforcement. We are just people who have opinions about all things going on in the true crime community, including guy who looks like he pays for nudes with expired Dunkin' Donuts gift cards, Michael Proctor, and his reputation sinking faster than K-Fed's literary career. Charlie McKenna from Mass Live reports the decision by former Massachusetts State Police trooper Michael Proctor to withdraw his appeal of his termination came after the union representing troopers voted to poll its support of the appeal just days before the scheduled hearings, which were supposed to take place over the course of the last couple of days. The executive board of the State Police Association of Massachusetts, aka SPAM, which previously supported Proctor's appeal, voted unanimously to sever all support for his appeal after the discovery of new evidence on his personal cellular device. So, no flowers, no goodbye text, just left on red. I mean, this is a clear response to what the Commonwealth has recently unearthed, which is, allegedly, a treasure trove of all these racist text messages and chats between Proctor and others that they found in the iCloud search that might be relevant to some of the criminal defendants he has helped put away. But now what appears to be last week's embarrassment is now this week's. Every single criminal defendant who's been personally victimized by Michael Proctor, whether justified or unjustified, just ordered the popcorn. We hope this decisive move closes a deeply embarrassing chapter in state police history, meaning don't let the door hit you on the way out, buddy. SPAM President Brian Williams said in a statement provided by a spokesperson. The move essentially left Proctor without a lawyer to represent him. Daniel Moynihan, the lawyer representing Proctor, serves as counsel for the union. So he wasn't privately hired by Chip and his family, but was fully funded by the union. And the union was like, we don't want to touch this with the 10-foot pole, I'll tell you that. It's a rapid reversal of position for the union, which previously criticized the decision to fire Proctor. The decision to terminate was guided by expedience, the relentless drumbeat of conspiracy theorists, and the intense glare of the media spotlight. Sadly, in the end, it was easier for the department to terminate Michael Proctor because he's a liability to the union than it was for them to stand tall and face the critics, Williams said in March when Proctor's firing was announced. I ain't singing the same tune today, I'll tell you that. Which, to be honest, it makes his whole redemption arc about as inspiring as a Lifetime movie starring George Santos. This whole statement right here is giving church newsletter apology level energy. And it's a sharp contrast to what Moynihan, Bear in the Big Blue House's now former attorney / union babysitter, was peddling in a court filing over the summer. In the filing, Moynihan said Proctor had obtained a new phone last year and installed software that automatically deleted its data every 30 days. So the meatball effect, right? Therefore, it is unlikely Mr. Proctor has any relevant information in his possession concerning this case, but he didn't expect, right, for the judge to give the green light to searching his iCloud account dating back to 2013, so probably as long as he's had an iCloud account, I'm assuming. Moynihan wrote in a motion filed in the King case. And this is why you're supposed to tell your lawyer everything, you numbnut.
Numbnut.
Oh, hey, kid. How you been? I mean, this is just further proving the point that this case wasn't personal to him, didn't personally get under his skin because it was a fellow police officer. No. So prosecutors say that they anticipate completing the review of the information from Proctor's phone on Friday. If you're searching going back to 2013, that's going to take probably a little bit longer than a couple of weeks to sift through. I'm just saying. So Michael Proctor's sudden withdrawal, this is a statement from Action Jackson. Proctor's sudden withdrawal of his appeal wasn't an act of humility. It was self-preservation. As was the decision from the union to be like, yeah, we're not going to pay for this anymore. People already don't really have a lot of faith in the Massachusetts State Police as it is. He learned investigators have recovered text messages from his private phone dating back years, and he wanted no part of what those text messages would reveal. He didn't accept accountability, and it hunted him down like the Justin Timberlake song goes. Comes around, comes around, comes around, comes around, and back around again. Yeah, so now that his iCloud snitching harder than a Real Housewife at a reunion, and spam hath booted him from the cool kids table, his whole withdrawal from this appeal that he was so gung-ho about just a couple months back in August, right? Makes a whole lot more sense to me. And this reeks of panic, sweat, and desperation fume, which really makes me wonder how this whole little digital exorcism of his iCloud is gonna play into Karen Reed's civil case with the O'Keefes, which also, by the way, has just gotten a little extra spicy with some updates that came out regarding that earlier today. So maybe we'll unpack some of that in the next one. Speaking of bald men who look like they marinate their head in Old Spice, Michael Proctor appears to be suffering from the same advanced strain of selective bullshit syndrome that's been ravaging the young mind of Angry Beaver Kelly Deaver. According to our girl on the Twitter X's, Marbury v. Mad, on her relentless quest for truth and justice, she stumbled upon this email sent from Steve over at the FBI to Boston's very own Do the Right Thing dressing packet, Michael Cox. So Scuba Steve says, "Sir, hope all is well. Just a reminder, the documents were released to the DA's office late last night. The officer we spoke about is Kelly Dever. If you have any questions at all, call me, beat me if you want to reach me. With love, Steve." From the FBI. I mean, this was just a couple of months before the first trial, right?
I'll explain. Okay, explain.
Well.
You got a visit from Officer Kelly Dever. The defense implied that you influenced her testimony. Do you want to respond to that?
I have nothing to do with Karen Reed. Matter of fact, I didn't even know this person was associated with the Karen Reed case.
So, when's the next statement coming out? Coxie? Did they really think that nobody would be interested enough in this case to look deeper into it, especially by February 2024? When that email was sent. The overconfidence and lack of self-awareness with these people is their undoing. Their coxiness, if you will. That's where people start to slip up and screw up because you get cocky with it. And it does give me hope, especially with this new development regarding Turtle Boy's case. This could also be the beginning of the end of the McAlbert Mafia. Because today, the 2024 indictment against Aidan Carney has been dismissed by the Norfolk DA's office. All cases where Lindsay Gattani was listed as an alleged victim have been dismissed via acquittal and or dismissal on the notion of the prosector. It seemed pretty inevitable ever since Lindsay Gattani decided to sue everyone. But it's just nice to see this all in black and white, right? Now comes the meatball in the above entitled matter, and enters a Nosferatu on the matter, pursuant to Alexasrewm, yada yada. The Commonwealth states that as grounds, therefore, the interest of justice requires such filing. But tonight we raise a glass, or a energy drink, to Lindsay Gattani. You ducking idiot. We did it! So, TB Daily News reports a similar motion to recuse Cosgrove from the 2023 indictments, because he's still got a little ways to go, but we are knocking them out one by one. For witness intimidation involving Julie Nagel, Jennifer McCabe, Matt McCabe, Elizabeth Proctor, Brian Albert, Colin Albert, and Chris Albert is scheduled for oral arguments on December 5th. And this is some of the stuff that, if you're on the Twitter X's, we were seeing people post on the docket of. It's going to be Krupp, who's going to be, I believe, sitting for that hearing. As of now, Cosgrove has not voluntarily recused himself in that matter, like he did with the Gattani matter, and we did a video on the last hearing as well. But she is undeniably a witness for both the Commonwealth and the defense in that case. And if you really want to laugh, the former Bachelor applicant made a statement to the Boston Herald saying, quote, "She was incensed by the DA's office to drop the charges in question. Gattani," said the judge in the case, "was assured during a late September hearing that a new special prosector or someone from the Attorney General's office of Massachusetts would appear on my cases, except the Attorney General's office has already adamantly stated that they're not going to touch this case." And it looks like there's no one in the state of Massachusetts that also wants to take on this case. Or any of your cases. Surprise, surprise! The special prosector process in Massachusetts is fundamentally broken, and today's decision is a battle cry for reform. I mean, she's not wrong in terms of saying there does need to be reform in the justice system in Massachusetts. You created this problem, but you also undid this problem. And an innocent man went to jail for 60 days because you were upset that he dumped you. Like, that's what this comes down to. And now you don't have the privilege of the taxpayers to get the revenge that you want. Like, oh, they're not answering my calls anymore. I don't know why she sounded like a Long Island mom, but Gattani said, adding that she has requested a probe by the AG's office into why the charges were dropped, because they don't care, Lindsay. They don't care about your nonsense. Speaking of unhinged women, has anybody checked in on Jen McCabe? Yeah, this is all just the beginning, so strap in or strap on, because there's a lot more to come. So hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell so you don't miss the next update from me, and make sure you hit that like button, because that tells the YouTubes that other people might want to watch this too, and if they do, that's great, and if they don't, then life goes on, and we'll just keep touching grass, and I have to come up with something better and more clever to say in my next video, but I am morbidly exhausted, and there is a festival outside of my house, so I'm gonna go listen to some tunes, yo. Thanks so much for watching, and until next time.
Kelly? Kelly, come in.